Hi friends, welcome back. I'm Elaine and I'm living with autoimmune disease, and like the title of this video says, I owe you all an apology. I have been gone for a couple of months and I have been slow to respond to comments. Also, the title of this video says summer tried to kill me, and it did. Let's backtrack a little. I am a full-time chronic illness patient, obviously. A lot of you are here because we are kindred spirits. But along with being a chronic illness patient full-time, I also work full-time. I have a full-time job, and to fill you in, I had that job before I got sick, so I do have certain accommodations in place with that job to be able to facilitate my chronic illness life. But sometimes things have to give, and I have to keep that job because my health insurance that I need so desperately to get my treatments, to see my doctors, is tied to my job. So I have to concentrate hard when I am suffering to make sure that I keep that employment, if that makes sense. So being a chronic illness patient full-time and working full-time, sometimes when I'm not doing well, something has to give. And unfortunately, my relationship with you all here on YouTube had to take a hiatus. I had to take a break because summer is some of the hardest months for me. We live in Southern California, and if you didn't know, my husband David and we are here in Southern California. Summertime can be really intense here. Our winters are mild compared to the rest of the country. I know a lot of you are all suffering right now with really cold weather and your Raynaud's is acting up. I totally get it. But here in Southern California, the weather can be pretty intense during the summer. And unfortunately this year, the summer was pretty intense and it's been long. So it's November right now and we're still wearing like capris and shorts and t-shirts because it's warm outside. And my health doesn't do well in the warm weather, and it never really has. And I've always wondered why, but I have difficulty breathing. I have a lot of problems with my joints and fatigue, and just everything kind of kicks up in the summertime when it's warm. And the summertime is warm here, August, September, and really into October this year. It was really warm. My rheumatologist and I have been working to keep my prednisone levels down. If you all don't know, I am on daily prednisone along with my other treatments for my autoimmune disease. And we've been trying to keep my daily prednisone down, which means that I kind of had to suffer through the summer. I do really well with prednisone. Obviously I have the weight gain and all that, but my body does really well with prednisone. But because I have scleroderma, we have to be careful about the dosage of the prednisone. If you all aren't familiar, prednisone can increase your chances for renal crisis. And in scleroderma, that's a big deal. Even though my antibody is SCL70, we still want to be careful about that. So I couldn't use my Band-Aid the way that I have always used it in the past. But also, let me backtrack a little. During the beginning part of this year, I had a workup for my heart because I've been having problems with my heart rate and feeling like I was gonna pass out. My blood pressure doesn't stay right. And I had just a lot of problems. And so I ended up with a cardiologist who is specialized in autonomic dysfunction or dysautonomia. And I had all the testing. I wore a heart monitor for a series of time for the second time in my chronic illness career. And I'll insert a picture so you can all see that. The results came back that yes, I was positive for autonomic dysfunction or dysautonomia. It's very common in autoimmune disease is what I'm being told. It's very common with inflammation, but the heat affects it. So for me, I kind of suffer through summer because it's warm here, and that really aggravates it. When my condition is really aggravated by the heat. So I did try LDN for it. That's kind of like a therapy that they use. The LDN didn't agree with my body, so I couldn't really take it. So I really had to change my lifestyle this summer in order to make it through the summertime. I am so happy to welcome back the time change because I do much better when it is dark outside and cooler and I can function. I feel like I can go out after 5 o'clock, it's dark, and I can kind of get my stuff done. I can take my walks. That is where I have been. I really appreciate everybody asking if I'm okay. You all are really important to me, and I really love the community we have here, and I'm sorry that I have been non-existent for a couple of months, but I'm back. And I am eager to start sharing things with you again. I know there's some medications that people have had questions about, and I want to share my experiences with those medications. If there's anything in particular that you would like me to talk about, I would love to make content that relates to you all. So if you have anything in particular that you would love me to talk about, or you would love to know more about my portion of my illness or my life, please leave me a comment down below. I'm always open to suggestions for videos. So whatever you all want to talk about here, let's talk about it. And I apologize again for being non-existent, but hopefully you all understand that I had to prioritize things in my life, and unfortunately something had to give for a little while because I had to take care of myself. I get kind of disappointed sometimes when my blood work shows inflammation and I'm not seeing as good of results from my medication and my diligence in trying to take care of myself. And I get disappointed, and sometimes it's hard to talk to other people and kind of keep them encouraged when I feel disappointed myself. So that was a little bit of part of having to step back as well. If you all relate to this, please let me know. I assume everybody relates to this because I feel like we've all been here at a point in our journey. I do get here every once in a while, and unfortunately that's where I've been. I appreciate you all hanging out and being here and staying with me and waiting for new content to load. My apologies, summer did try to kill me, but we made it through. And if you all have dysautonomia or autonomic dysfunction, let me know what your tricks are to make it through the summertime. I'm kind of a newbie, and so I am learning to eat lots of salt and keep myself hydrated and really just stay out of the heat. If you have anything that works for you that you want to share, I'd love to hear it. Leave it down below. If you like this video and you relate to this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help. If you'd like to come along on my adventure, which if you just found me on this video, welcome. But there's a lot more to my story that you can find. But if you would like to come along on my adventure, it's sometimes medical, it's sometimes fun, but it's always an adventure. I'd love to have you. The more friends, the more better. So please subscribe. And until my next adventure, go have yours. And side note, if you're wondering about my shirt, my motto for when I don't feel good and I try to give myself a hype up talk is suck it up, buttercup.